Welcome to Balanced Life with Debbie Carlin Boyle. Conversations connecting to a healthier you. The show that gives you all the latest and greatest health and wellness information to inspire you to live a life of balance and joy. Debbie Carlin Boyle is a health and nutrition coach, personal trainer, and fitness instructor who helps her clients live in balance with everything that feeds us, in addition to the food on our plate. Please welcome your host, Debbie Carlin Boyle.
Hello. Welcome everybody. Cheers. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing today? Thank you for joining me here on my show. This is Balanced Life with me, your host, Debbie Carlin Boyle. I am conversations that connect to a healthier you. We're going to have a great conversation today about connecting to a healthier you. So stick around. This is a good one. And I want to remind you that I'm an interactive show. So if you have a comment or if you want to ask a question, today I'm going to ask you to go to my Facebook page. We're having some trouble with the phone. So if you go to my Facebook page, it is Fit by Design, otherwise known as Balanced Life by Debbie. Go on there, make a comment, ask a question anytime during the show. We'll look at it. My guest and I will look at it after the show, and we'll get back to you right away with an answer or suggestion. How's that? So having said all that, I welcome you once again. I want to let you know that I'm here the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. This month, I'm just doing this one special show today because it is my birthday, the last Tuesday of this month. It's actually the day of my birthday, and I'm going to be in Mexico. I'm going to be on a retreat, a yoga retreat with my oldest daughter who leads those retreats, and I'm really excited to be doing this, and so I'm going to see you again on March 10th. So enjoy this show. I hope you get a lot of information out of it because as I was researching, a study and a recent survey revealed that only 20.6% of people met the total recommended amounts of exercise. This is about 23% of all surveyed men and 18% of surveyed women. People most likely to exercise were between the ages of 18 and 24. So that's almost 31% of all exercises. Those least likely to engage in physical activity were ages 65 and older, nearly 16% of exercisers. So physical inactivity can lead to lifelong health problems and ultimately death. So my guest today, Anna Stavaridis is a longtime fitness enthusiast, as I am, and she wants to change that statistic. After working for years in wealth management, Anna changed careers to fulfill a dream in the fitness industry. She truly believes you can do anything you put your mind to, and anything worth doing is worth doing right. Anna is an ACE certified personal trainer as well as an ACE certified group fitness instructor who is focused on clients' goals with a results-driven enthusiasm. Stability and mobility, along with functioning form, are key basics she builds off of to ensure quality progress towards clients' goals of weight loss, toning, endurance, performance, and an appreciation for the body and mind connection. So today, to discuss the healthy habits and the best exercises for 50 and over, will you please welcome my guest, Anna Stavaridis, to my show? Yay! I said your name. It's tricky. I think it's a thing that I get guests with the trickiest names.
It's all
so
a test.
It's a test.
It's all a test. If we can get past this, we're good for the rest of the show.
I need like a Smith and a Jones, but do I get that? No. Yeah. So it's so funny. Yeah. Welcome, Anna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
it's such
thank
a pleasure.
you. I know we're all busy during our day, and especially, in this entrepreneur fitness health field that we're in, and it's difficult to navigate to come into a studio and do this. But I thank you so much. You will be helping many people, and this lives forever on my YouTube channel, which I invite you to go to and join my YouTube channel, Balanced Life by Debbie Carlin Boyle. So people will be able to listen to this show for a long time to come.
The gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, exactly, which is
Great.
what I love and why I do the show in the first place.
Great.
So before we get started on our subject, best healthy habits and exercises over 50, I want to learn a little bit about you, where you've come from. Your name is obviously Greek,
Yes.
so I want to
Yes.
hear about that.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I grew up on the East Coast in New England. So I'm originally East Coast, but I've been coming out here to the West Coast for the majority of my life. And after high school, moved out here for school. And a lot of my family has moved out here since. I absolutely love it out here on the West Coast, especially LA. I am an LA girl. I did enter into the wealth management workforce with passion in '99, and that was at the tech boom. And then it further went into the housing.
And you studied, you studied finance, I take it.
I studied management in school,
Okay.
and I was working in wealth management while I was going to school as well. And thankfully, they were paying for it too.
Yeah,
which is very
paid
nice.
intern kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and the school as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So that was great. If you can get that, do that. And so I went through the tech boom, and I went through the housing crash, and I went through 9/11 in between all of that. And so it really showed me the different cycles in the market and how it can affect lives. But through all of that, I learned that there is more to life than just numbers and money. And it did very well for me, but it didn't, as far as financially, educationally, and all of that. But as far as me, health-wise and spiritually, it didn't fulfill that for me whatsoever. And I eventually had burnout a few years back. And I had to reconsider my priorities in my life. You know, just as today was a priority coming in to see you with our busy schedules and all of that, I had to reevaluate my priorities in my life from the beginning.
So I have a question for you, because I find this of interest, because I have a lot of people that come and do my show that transitioned, that changed their life, that really did a flip because of things. Was it over a period of time, did you notice that your health was declining, or was it just abruptly? Did you say, I can't do this anymore and I'm done?
Well, both.
Okay.
My brain wanted to keep going, but my body said that's enough.
Okay. What kind of things were going on
the
to you?
Stress was really taking an impact on me. Anxiety, not being able to be everywhere at every time, not doing anything well, spreading myself too thin, not having anything fulfilling me. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. All I was doing was working.
Adrenal burnout, adrenal fatigue. And once your adrenals are shot, everything just spiraled down.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after a few visits to the ER, and then finally collapsing, my friend brought me to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
And that was enough.
Oh my God, you physically collapsed.
I physically could not go anymore. And my body had started to shut down. And then I just was like, well, I'm in this hospital, but where's my phone? And where's my laptop?
Yeah.
And I have to, so many things I have to do.
Yeah, like everything's going to fall apart if you don't stay on top of everything, you know? But look at your body, you're just screaming at you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've never had anything like that happen to me before in my life.
And how long ago did this happen?
About 3 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, a little over 3 years ago.
Okay.
And so I've always been into fitness. I've run the marathon. I've always worked out. I mean, since high school, I've always been into fitness and what I thought was being healthy. But now that's very different now than what I was doing. You know, your inner child, you would never treat your own child like that, but you treat yourself
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we treat ourselves so much worse than we treat other people, our cars, our homes, our plants, our animals.
Strangers.
We take care of that better
Yes.
than we take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And really it starts, you know, I've done many shows on this, but it really starts with us.
Yeah.
Because if we're no good to anybody, if we're no good to all those things we love and care about, if we're, spiraling down this rabbit hole of unhealthy lifestyle, and then ultimately, what are we good? How good are we bedridden?
We're not.
No.
We're not. And this is really something fundamental that I work with my clients. And it doesn't really matter what the age. I've found I study a lot with millennials. I work with a lot of seniors and everyone in between, corporate executives, everything. And what it really comes down to is us being able to give ourselves permission to put ourselves first.
Agreed.
If you are not here and well, you cannot do all of these things that you have to do, you feel you have to do. And those are all other conversations, reprioritizing those have-tos.
Right.
But fundamentally, putting ourselves first, some people actually need to have permission to do that. And it's
right.
a mindset where you're not being selfish. Women especially are conditioned in this society to be constant providers. You have to have the house, the home, the family, the job, everything now. And it takes a toll if you aren't caring for yourself.
I agree 100%. And I do think that there is a collective shift happening where there's conscientious, we've got the Me Too movement, which is one part of taking care of ourselves, not letting ourselves be undermined, not letting ourselves not feel our worth within a corporate world, within our personal world. And I think because the conversation is happening and there's a dialogue now that your daughter and even my daughters who are millennials are making those changes that I, as a woman in her 60s, didn't make at that age and didn't make until about 10 years ago, because I have a very similar story. And I think keeping the conversation going and having professionals like you and I who are into health and wellness and driving that message along is so important right now. It's not something you and I grew up with.
No,
and it's why we got into the place that we are, and we have peers at our age level, even though we're a little bit, different generations for sure. But we have peers that are going through stuff because they didn't have those conversations. And they, like you said, it's a mindset that they grew up with, that we are the caretakers. Everybody else first, you sit back. And here's all the things you have to do to make sure everybody else is taken care of and is satisfied. And I forgot to turn my phone off. And that is one of the most important things that we never learned about, or I never learned about until the last 10 years.
And it
5
is a
years.
skill.
Yes.
It is a skill to be learned. We aren't innately born with it. I mean, we are born, with our ego and selfishness, and we're taught to share. But, taking care of ourselves and in societal conditions and that sort of thing, we have to relearn these skills. And I do teach this to my daughter, to have the confidence. I teach this to my clients when they are afraid to walk in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's looking at me.
They feel so on the spot, on,
the imposter
display.
syndrome in the gym type of thing.
Yeah.
We both are speakers and that sort of thing, but we have that imposter syndrome. Like, am I really qualified to be
here?
speaking?
I'm not good enough.
Right,
and women go through the I'm not enough thing in every single category you can think of, much worse than men.
And then the supporting of each other is also really, when I work with my clients, I'm always pointing out their good attributes. I think that us bringing each other up instead of breaking each other down constantly is so important. And that is taught to my daughter again. I mean, we're creating the next generation. What does she hear when I'm talking? I tell her it's very important for you to be a friend even when they're not around. You supporting them is being a friend even when they're not around.
That's absolutely true. How lucky your daughter is to have you with that mindset as for a mother. And like I said, there is a collective change, I think, going on for our generations of kids that, for me, it will be my grandchildren as well, because my kids are getting it a lot younger than I got it. I was in burnout raising my kids, even when my daughters were your daughter's age, I was burned out. And I just didn't know better, even though I was in health and fitness. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't find that there's any flavor when you're that burnout. And I even today find myself having to take that time every day, or scheduling my time like I do with my clients, putting yourself first, scheduling yourself first. I schedule rest with my clients. I schedule specific time to downshift so that I can regroup and appreciate what I've achieved for the week, but also rest so that I can enjoy what I have planned for the following week.
Right.
And those weeks that I happen to miss that one spot, and I do it a little bit on the weekend with a little shift, I feel it the next week if I don't.
Right. And it's also good to give yourself a break. I mean, that's part of your wellness is giving yourself a break. Right. If you have, you eat a weekend, away or a weekend, that thing, you just have to give yourself a break to not beat yourself up if you miss something, within the realm of your caretaking. Yeah. And that's part of your caretaking is being able to be forgiving to yourself. But let's go back to you collapsing and the shift. Was that was it? That was your aha moment? That was when you said, I'm out of this corporate world.
Yeah.
So how did that play out?
So I took some time to think about what I wanted to do, and I was working out and really enjoying that and getting outside, and I was helping some of my friends, and a very good friend of mine just kind of nudged me and said, you're pretty good at this. You should do this. And I'm like, do what? We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
And she's like, you should do fitness. So I did a lot of research. I wanted to, do the best. And I wanted to make sure that it was accredited and everything. So I did a lot of research, found ACE to be the program for me, and pursued that. I took a lot of time. It's not stocks, bonds, and that kind of thing.
Where you rush, do it now. The market's changing. And
it's a whole other language with anatomy, kinesiology, and all of that. So I really wanted to enjoy the studying and had the luxury of doing so. So I was looking up everything and just becoming a sponge for the knowledge and really wanting to find out all sorts of different ways of wellness and find out where that brought me and how I could help. Because there's so many different ways.
So when you started studying it, did you find that it lit you up?
Yes.
Okay, so you knew this is where you belonged.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my question.
Yeah.
That happened for me too.
I find it fascinating.
Yeah. Me too.
I just find the way that you lift a finger and everything else that it triggers, and if you eat one thing, what it actually delivers.
Yeah.
I think that rhymed, but
There, you have a little haiku or something. There. You can do a little rap song on your information, your explanation video on your website. It's funny how it triggers it probably triggers a serotonin endorphin high for us when we're studying these kind of things. And then you go, okay, now I know this is where I belong.
Right.
And then you just feed into that, So you knew that and got your certification.
Yeah.
So, and right away you started getting clients. How did that happen?
No, so I took some time to get some hands-on training at a gym near me. And I was so blessed to meet the people that I met there. One of them I actually have as one of my trainers now.
Oh, okay.
And I've stayed in touch with some of the other people there. But one of the gentlemen there, he was so knowledgeable about functional exercise and structure.
Training.
I mean, it was amazing to I just think so highly of him and all that he taught me, and it really helped me get that hands-on experience, the why.
Yeah.
And opened my eyes to corrective exercises as well, and all of that. I mean, because that's
it's huge
our seniors,
within our clientele.
Oh,
yes.
I mean,
there's always something.
What's fascinating to me with my research with even millennials is that their bodies structurally are really starting to have some of the issues that older people, the next generation, it seems to be struggling with, whether it's joint issues, obesity, depression, the anxiety that they're having. So the corrective, it can be specialized from an injury repair or that sort of thing, but it can also be used within many different demographic generations and that sort of thing, not just our seniors.
Yeah, because I find, I have daughters in their 30s, and they overdo sometimes because they feel a little competitive. Even my yoga daughter. And so, like, I'll find that she'll teach 3 classes and then go take a spin class or go do. Yesterday, she said to me, "Oh, my legs are so sore," and I said, "From yoga?" She said, "No, I did an Orange Theory class 2 days ago." And I already know that day she taught 2 or 3 classes, or took even she takes classes, doesn't just teach them. So, and then I have to constantly have that conversation with her to not overdo, because when you're my age or even before, you're going to pay that price.
Moderation.
Everything,
Moderation.
we do have, and which is what we're going to talk about today as we age. But I want to talk about, so you created Meraki Fitness. What is that? What does it mean? And how does your business work? I'm curious.
Great. Meraki actually is Greek for passion, something that you have a passion to do. It's used very often in the Greek language, that you have a passion for your podcast, you have a passion for fitness. So Meraki Fitness is just that. We have a passion for the body and soul.
Okay.
So we focus on professional speaking about wellness. We do concierge personal training. We come to you in any place, any space.
Right.
We do corporate wellness, senior fitness, nutrition, weight management.
Now, is this your company, or is
Yes.
it your company with somebody else?
No, it's my
your
company,
company.
yeah.
And you have people that you hire that are trainers
Yes.
that go and
Yes.
do the concierge
Yes.
and corporate.
Yes.
Lovely.
So we have from strength training to competitive weightlifting. We have phlebotomy, nutrition specialists, corrective functional exercise, yoga, Pilates, bar, breath work. We have a whole suite of wellness for you.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely. And your clients find you how? In the gyms, through word of mouth? Or?
It's word of mouth. I'm very heavily involved with my Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce as well. I'm an ambassador there, and I'm part of the Health and Wellness Committee as well as the Young Professionals Network. They can find me on Instagram and Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm very social media present.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah. I find it a lot of fun, and I have a YouTube and all of that. So
So people find you there, and they'll say, "Hey, we want to do a corporate retreat. We need professionals to come in, or we're doing a conference, and we want you."
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's
one
lovely.
of the things I'm working on right now is what's called a WBENC certification, which is fulfilling for Fortune 500 companies their diversity criteria. So as a woman-owned business, I would be in their database as a wellness professional, speaker, female speaker, and be able to come into those and fulfill their diversity criteria while also meeting the demands of their employees or their clients. So that, as well as a corporate wellness certification that I'm working on, where I can come into the corporation and deliver a platform that identifies chronic illnesses of employers and employees, which is really hurting them on the bottom line with their healthcare costs and their attrition and the performance and that job satisfaction. I mean, these we have to take care of our workforce.
Oh, big time.
And so this benefit actually goes towards the actual insurance companies reducing the healthcare cost.
So you get certified to recognize what's going on individually with people within their corporation. You do an assessment.
And we sustain the program. We keep a metric of it, and we deliver those metrics to the insurance company so that we fulfill their criteria to reduce the rates.
Don't you find that your management background is coming in handy in this kind of stuff?
I find that it's funny that you say that, because it was brought to mind in a little bit of our prior conversation. I feel that everything that has happened to me in my life, every good, bad, everything has brought me exactly to where I am.
Yes, I agree with you. I think that's true for most people that are on the moving forward platform.
The inertia that I have is to wake up in the morning is a delight. I look forward to every day. I have to condition myself to stop at night because there's so much that I want to do. So for me to be able to give back into a corporation, knowing what I had gone through in my prior wealth management career, what I wanted as a manager in that position, to be able to deliver to my employees. I mean, I would bake at home to try to bring in something to them, to recognize them, just to have some appreciation.
Yeah.
And in just the lack, there is a lack of it in some industries, but there are others that are fully embracing it. So by setting that, riding that bandwagon with those that are embracing it, it's kind of like your 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
We'll go with those that are embracing it and hopefully bring in the middle group.
Yeah, that
are
eventually will bring down the bottom group to the middle and hopefully up to,
and
it's
important. We have best wishes for those that won't embrace. But there's always that whole range of people in any type of company or initiative or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think that as a country and as a society, and even in my own community, it's if you're able to do this, it's really our duty to be able to give our knowledge and to help other people.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And talking about that, today we're kind of focusing on, because there's in the realm of health and wellness, especially fitness, which is your expertise, as is mine. And people have been hearing from me for several years now about what's good for them. We thought we would zero in a little bit on kind of 50-plus crowd. And what happens to our bodies as we age, because we know our systems slow down. We know that, everything, including all of our organs slow, our heart rate slows down, our metabolism slows down, things, our hormone changes create the slower.
Yes.
So to be aware, and as you know, I am a hormone specialist, especially, I started researching for myself, and then I went and got my certifications to understand what happens to our bodies when our of a hormonal imbalance, not just as we age, but that's where we really see it, even if we are taking care of ourselves. And when those things slow down, we need to shift things a little bit in the way we exercise and what we do for them. And I know as well as I do, you work with seniors. So let's talk about what you've seen and what you do and what you think, are some of the best things that seniors should be looking at and knowing. And I'm not saying if you're 50 plus, you're a senior. I know it's more, generally it's 65 plus. It's closer to my age. But really, you do in your 50s, things slow down, men and women. And I know it's different for men than it is for women. And we did talk about the statistics of women who are exercising and men versus men that are exercising. And unfortunately, it's less on the women's scale. I see that changing. But let's talk about, what do you think is the thing that you see the most with your clients that they're the most concerned about with aging and wellness?
I think in my experience, it's mostly just being able to get around, being able to move around, and as they're getting older, to be able to play with the grandkids. It's really important for them to be able to get down onto the floor and
get
play
back up.
and get back up.
I have a couple of clients that are having issues getting back up, so we're working on that.
Well, I find a lot of multi-generational families too, where the parents are at work, are having the grandparents helping with the grandkids and the transportation and then the daily care. So it's hauling the groceries, it's lifting the kids into the car seat. It's all of these things that they used to do 40 years ago.
Right. And they're suddenly doing it again.
And they're suddenly doing it
and they
again.
feel different about it.
And it's,
not
so
as
it's
easy.
And it comes to that functional exercise again, where it's to the basics and really having having stability.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Yeah.
I do a lot of work with stability. A lot of people want to work on balance.
Yeah. So important as we age, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's core is in that being able to sustain any type of jarring and not falling. But also ankle stability is pretty popular. So when I have more experienced clients, we do a certain section in our exercise program daily, and I encourage them with, there's an educational component to that also, where you can do this when I'm not here.
I know. Some don't do it. I have those. I do have
homework.
Seniors, and they I won't do it if you're not here. Okay, that's okay, but let's still make an effort.
Make
Give
an
it
effort
a
when you do
try.
the coffee.
Yeah.
I make it relatable. Like, I do a lot of classes at senior facilities, whether it be residential assisted rehabilitative post-acute care. So the range of ability is very different. There's a lot of memory care in there too.
Yes.
And so the coordination is something that we work on in that regard. But stability is always a focus.
Give an example of some exercises that you might use for stability, let's say.
So I do, in the chair exercises that we do, if they're able to cross their ankles or able to cross their knees, or even if they don't have hip issues, to open up the hip flexor and do somewhat of like a seated pigeon, and really start working on some circular motions, pointing and flexing. We open up the toes also and really press down in, wiggling them. Sometimes that's the only time that they'll wiggle their toes and open their toes in a day or a week.
And that starts the blood flow
flow,
which is so important to all your systems.
The blood
flow is what makes our bodies, run.
We
really.
start by breathing.
Yeah. Well, that's...
We start by breathing and
It's a
cleaning
must.
out all of the old air, bringing in the new air. And we continuously breathe throughout our sessions. We have it with an intention so that their heart can be involved in it too. And then we open up their blood flow with their fingers, their toes, work on wrists as well with the forearm as well.
Yeah.
And we can have a ball under their foot and open up their foot with their toes.
Right.
Being able to trace the ABCs. Simple.
Oh, yeah, with the ball.
The ball, but also just having their foot free form in the air so that if they do the ABC on each side, it's a lot of fun. Sometimes if it's February or it's Saturday, we write those words. I tell all the women, let's write out the word beautiful just like you.
Oh,
and so they like it.
I like that one.
Yeah. So it's, trying to make it so that they're stretching their gorgeous legs and raising those knees and just making it so that they feel fulfilled in their mind and their heart, as well as getting that blood flowing and getting the flexibility, the mobility. But it all starts with the stability.
Yeah, I agree with you. I have a couple of senior clients, but most of my clients are more 40s, 50s. And so I can actually do core work with them. We can get on the floor. I teach a spin class that after we're doing high cardio for an hour, we actually get down on the floor and do core work.
That's great.
Because we're nice and warm. And
I find sometimes with spin class, I don't get enough in the upper body, but some spin classes do include some weight resistance in them. But getting down on the floor is great.
Yeah,
with the core.
Just yesterday we did, because you can work your chest and shoulders and your biceps and tris, where you can go from forearm plank to full arm plank and forearm to full.
That plank's fantastic.
And, not only are they getting the core benefit, but they're also getting the upper body benefit. Because this goes to the other end of when you don't do enough, I want to be careful on not, like what I was saying with my daughters, and not overtraining my clients or my classes. Because I know when I was in my 30s and just getting into fitness, I was, running 6 miles and then weight training in the gym and for another hour and a half. And what was happening was I was being counterproductive.
Right.
So I try to let my clients and my members, my class members, know that you might want to weight train on a day you're not doing cardio, because you just burned 500 to 600 calories. So you're going to continue burning those calories throughout the day. And that's kind of counterproductive to muscle building. So you might want to, and give that 48-hour difference between muscle, all those little sort of rules of thumb. I like to pass along constantly to my classes and my clients to remind them. If they're doing a Pilates class, I always ask them, what did you do on the days you didn't see me? Because if they've done a Pilates class the day before, I want to change the muscle groups up a little bit. So to maximize the whole, when I was trained to be a trainer, I was trained in a gym. I went to school for 3 months to become a personal trainer. And so it was practical and written. And I realized that the one thing I realized about weight training and fitness was to maximize your time and your genetic potential. So Not your time is precious, and you have to go within the genetic potential of what your body is capable of. Those two things together are what are sort of my lead into my clients in their individuality.
Well, we
So-
we start with goals too.
Yes.
You know, what is your ultimate goal? What is it that you like to do? You know, and then we build out the plan.
Yeah.
And we include the rest. And some people have such a hard time with rest.
We have a call.
We do.
We have a caller. I was just looking to see. All right, here we go. Hi, caller. Are you there?
I am. Hi, my name's Lisa, and I'm one of Anna's clients. And I just wanted to call in
hi,
and
Lisa.
talk about the magic of her inspiration for me starting the new year off healthy.
Oh, that's great. Hi, Lisa. Thank you for calling. Yeah, you know, if you just caught it, or you will, that we are talking about the best exercises for people over 50, and and
That's
in
me.
general. Oh, good.
Yeah.
So, tell us something that you like about Anna's training, and specifically, tell us one thing.
Well, what she specifically has helped me with was I'm recovering from a pretty bad car accident. And so she's working with me within the limitations that I have now post, accident. And I've just really appreciated how much I feel better now that I've been able to find a routine through Anna that is workable for me and still, helping me get some results. So it's just been fabulous.
Lisa, that's great. And that's the main thing. What satisfaction we can get when
I
we
just have
help
such
people.
joy hearing this because she's just been through such a long road.
Yeah,
Such a
and
long
this
road.
sounds
And
like she's
amazing
going.
person that gives so much to everything that she does, and for her to have the mobility and freedom to be able to do that and really enjoy her life is just so fulfilling to me.
It's great.
And
That's
also
so
the
good.
health, the mind-body health experience that Anna brings to, the program. That's actually been as much help as the other.
It all
She's
starts.
overall wellness.
It starts with the mind. So, and we talked about in the beginning, mindset is everything, and that changed your life. And mine as well. And that's what we hope to do for our clients. And it sounds like it's worked for you, Lisa. It's working. It's so important.
It is. I'm a work in progress, but it's, she gives me hope.
I love hearing that. I'm so glad you called in with this endorsement because it's well-deserved, I can tell.
Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, thank you. I definitely encourage anyone listening to, if they're in the same age group that I am, it's just life-changing. Go for it.
Good. Thank you.
for
That
it.
helps so much with the show today. Lisa, you have a great day. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks for taking the call.
Thanks,
Yes.
Lisa.
Bye now. Well, there you go. We're done.
I know. I'm like, I can go now.
But that's our point. That's what that's what we were leading into. Elisa called is to change people's lives, starting with mindset, and then being their coach. I realized I have a new potential client that I'm meeting with this week. And we have a phone conversation, and then I do an assessment. So I do a little health history form that they fill out, and then we sit down and talk. But we were talking about setting goals. And, she feels like she's just off her game. She's an ex-athlete, off her game, turning 60, feeling horrible, And I said, well, let's meet. Let's talk about where we need to start. And we got to start with intention and mindset first. And we got to keep that in check throughout whatever else our game plan is. And that is so important to get across. It used to be, in the old workout days that if you were a bodybuilder, it was more important about, no body fat, big muscles. That's not the mindset that is going to be sustainable. It's the same thing about diets. Diets are temporary.
Yeah.
Lifestyle change comes from here. If you the yo-yo thing
yo-yo's gonna
is
hurt your
still
heart.
going on
Yeah.
with all we know. And that's where as coaches and trainers and influencers that we can come in and make a difference in people's lives. And you are doing just that.
Thank you. Well, I think we have similar plans. I have a 21-day transformational plan, and you have a 30-day.
I'm on a 30-day, right?
You have a
yeah.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
So I just heard from one of my clients this morning, and she's getting married in July, and August. And so she's on week 3 right now.
Oh,
and she's buying her wedding dress. She said yes to it because, it's open back, and she's looking at pictures from her engagement photos versus the pictures of her in the dress when she was trying it on. And she's like, I can already see the difference. And she weighed herself, and we've done measurements. And, she's like, this is just amazing. I'm actually seeing results for the first time.
Yeah. And that's just around the time the 3rd week is where you start to see. Now, is she physically working with you in that plan?
I have an app that I use with her more on a virtual means. We speak. She can text me anytime, but we have set up weekly conversations, and then we meet once a month.
Oh, okay.
And I gave her the meal plan with the shopping lists and the prep ideas and the recipes.
Yes.
And then I build in the app her fitness instruction. So it's very specific with videos attached as far as what she does. And this past 3 weeks, we've been building up her base. She has a background with fitness and
okay,
and all
so
of
she
that.
understands if somebody's not physically over her when she's lifting the weight.
Yeah,
she
she's
understands
good.
form.
She understands form, and the videos are helpful with that.
Yeah.
And any questions that she had, I said, I'm going to start you low with the weights. I'm going to have you doing, this many reps, and we're going to build up any holes that you have in your foundation. And so, naturally, she's been wanting to increase the weights. I said, well, we're going to increase some of the reps and some of the weights, and then I'm going to start targeting more on your areas that you want to be more specific, like your back and your delts and everything with your arms, your triceps, and that area. So when she walks down the aisle, that she's just as beautiful walking away as she was coming.
Oh, that's so cool. So you're invested in her goals, which is what
really
any good trainer should be. So you have an app. So is this app? So this app is individualized. So how does it work? Tell me about your app.
So we register the client into the app, and then we, with whatever they feel comfortable with, if they'd like to add in a photo, I always encourage my client to take a photo on their own phone. You don't have to share it with the world. You don't have to even share it with me. But please take a photo before and then once a month. Same lighting, same outfit, same place. Once a month, so that we can visually see the difference
the transformation
and the measurements, because the scale isn't always helpful in our business because muscle weighs more than fat, but you're losing inches visually, but you're weighing the same, if not maybe a little more. And even with the water loss, and so it's a conversation that needs to continue with the nutrition and the goal. Like, what is our goal? So let's stay on the numbers. I'm very numbers driven with my prior background.
Yeah.
So the statistics will show us when we take your measurements where we're going to be at, on a monthly basis. And so we build that into the app. The nutritional plan is in the app. I post it into there as well, along with the fitness plan and all of the videos. And then it's a living, breathing type of thing. So if she likes one thing, she doesn't want a plank, there's plenty of other things we can do.
Which is, I believe in bio-individuality and to customize per client. So with this app, are you the only trainer on the app, or do the other trainers kick into other clients?
The other trainers can take on any other clients as well.
So where do we find this app, and what's it called?
You have to contact Meraki Fitness.
Okay, gotcha.
At MerakiFitnessByAnna.com.
And when did you put this app together? Because you've only been doing this like 3 years.
Well, I've actually had Meraki Fitness for about a year.
Oh, okay. Wow, look at you go.
So I've been working on the app for a little while, since last summer. And then I just recently rolled it out. By the end of fall, I was rolling it out.
Oh, so everything is so brand new.
Wow. So, which means it's the most current, too. I find, there's something to be said about years of experience, but it's also to have the most current knowledge as well.
Absolutely. So it's not stale. So are you finding that people are finding you on the app? Is it through word of mouth or?
Yeah, I mean, it's displayed on my website. It's displayed on social media and in our conversations. And whenever I do my corporate events as well, the corporate event, the corporate wellness will have a different application to be able to connect with the administrator for the corporation as well as the benefits company.
So it will be a different app. You go to that app and click on a different.
That's a whole different
app.
capacity type on the server and
gotcha.
that
Wow.
kind of thing,
So that's a lot of tech. So so what I like about these like 21-day, 30-day transformation plans is that anybody can join, and it's very economical for them because working with us one-on-one is not so much. You know, for a lot of people, they, like I said, they do need it. They need somebody literally physically standing over them.
Yeah.
But other people don't need it, and they want something affordable.
Yeah, right.
So it becomes an economical way. What happens after the 21 days?
Well, we're going to adjust the plan. The 21 days was basically to get her
Like a jump
kick-started.
start. Yeah.
And also to talk to her fiance as well as her mom about the nutrition and get that support. Because with any type of behavioral change, we need to have that support at home,
that's
right?
part of my 30-day is
so
what's around you.
So I gave it to her a few days before. It was an eventuality. First, we sat down and we discussed, what are her goals. I was so happy to get the wedding and everything like that. It's such a fun goal.
That big time.
Yeah. And but we also discussed her experience, any type of injuries, and then what is her budget? Anybody going through a wedding is on a budget. They have the spreadsheet, and
that's right. Yeah.
So
they should.
What does that look like? Like, what can I give you that makes this work for the both of us, and so that you get something out of it? So I took a personal interest in her, and we talked about what the package looks like. The plan was able to be used with her family as well, and the fitness will start to evolve that together and extend it with the weekly calls as well as the once a month meetings. But the app helps us sustain that throughout and evolve that fitness into her shoulders, the back, and her core, wherever else she'd like to be.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah.
So, and you, like you said, you have videos. So those videos are pre-done, or do you take them specifically for her
They're
needs?
built in within the app, so I can
app.
have it be her doing them, me doing them, or whatever the app delivers.
Oh, okay. Really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to drill you further on
Yeah,
that when we're off air,
yeah.
because I find that intriguing, something I've been thinking about for a
Yeah,
long time.
it really opens up the scope. I mean, and I have a lot of friends being back east, growing up back east. I have a lot of people connect me on Facebook, and they ask me a lot of questions, and I wish you lived closer. And so it was kind of like already in my mind immediately.
Bingo.
Like, well, here, let's find a solution.
And
to
again,
that.
your management numbers thing, this comes in so handy.
Yeah,
that is the one thing. I'm not that tech savvy, and numbers are not my thing. I have a degree in theater. I was an actress. So this is a different, a different path and a different way to try to hit it. But this is definitely, you have the smart way right here.
Yeah,
well, I'll be talking to you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Believe it or not, we're down to 5 minutes. So remember I said we're going to have fun and it's going to go by so fast. We have so much. Let's give some tips and pointers for the person over 50, man or woman, how they can get started on a wellness track. We talked about good exercises for seniors, but let's just maybe a little bit of bullet points of tips between you and I that we can give for people over 50 who are listening to the show today.
Well, I think it comes to finding out what is it that you like to do.
Yeah.
And we talked about that a little already, but really asking yourself, what did I used to do? Or what have I always wanted to do? I have always wanted to take tap dancing. So,
I love it. I'm trying to take salsa or swing classes.
Perfect.
It's like
wonderful exercise.
Yeah, it's great exercise. I love to dance. I do go in clubs. I do have a partner, but I'm not really. We're just kind of winging it. And a couple of months ago, he flipped me without telling me he was going to flip me. It's like, you know what? I could have got hurt.
Right.
I want to know how to do this without getting hurt.
So then we build in a couple classes, wherever it works within your schedule. It doesn't have to be everything all at once. It can be one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So that's really
finding your passion for whatever gets you moving.
Yeah.
Good
And being open-minded, trying new things. If you've got that friend that's always been asking you, hey, will you come with me? Like, let's go for this walk, or let's go down to the beach. Let's go for a bike. Go.
Yeah. Move.
Just
Try to move when in the realm of something you love.
Yeah. And a lot of the way that I got into so many different things with my business so quickly was just by saying yes. Like, let me just go try that. I don't have to stay.
No.
I can leave.
It might not, it's kind of like a dating game almost,
It's speed,
you know?
speed business.
Yeah.
Let me just try a lot of different things to see what works.
Yeah.
And I think that, there's a lot of different things. Water activities, the whole muscle mass, that's a whole other show.
We're absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
but
yeah. But go ahead.
Well,
finish.
finding a partner, I think, if you are inclined to want to do something with somebody, you feel more comfortable walking into that gym or going for that walk with somebody, to find a partner. Like, I see people on that Nextdoor app often asking for walking partners.
Yeah.
And then, or if you want to do something individually, then you can do a YouTube app and just start learning salsa dancing by yourself in your living room until you build up that confidence.
To go into class and to do it. Yeah, I agree. And it's just getting started. And like my 30-day transformation, the very first day, and some people, mostly people I already know who are into wellness and fitness are on there. But for the person who doesn't know where to start, simply start drinking more water.
Right. I always start with water, yeah.
Just hydrate. Our bodies are made up of 70% of water. We need to keep them hydrated.
Yeah.
Hydration keeps your skin looking good.
Yes.
It keeps your head clear.
Yes.
It keeps your motivation going. It helps with sleep. And dehydration happens to be the number one catalyst for all diseases. So and it gets worse as we get older because of the things we were talking about earlier. Everything slows down. So we have to ramp up, but not to the point where we're in our 20s or 30s anymore, to the point of where our body is capable of getting to that level.
Yeah.
So just get out, like you said, find a partner, go for a walk, get the dog out, walk 4 extra blocks than you would have walked, so you can turn around and walk back. Go along. If you're in a beach area, if you're in a hiking area, if you're near a lake or a river, go to an environment that feeds you, that you know where the smells and the sights and the sounds are going to envelop you in a positive way. I always say that. And it's sometimes just that first physical step is so difficult.
Yeah.
So
I find the community centers are really helpful. I live right near Roxbury Park, and they have so many programs.
Right near Roxbury Park.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. That, and I think like ClassPass are great ideas too.
Yes. Check things out until you find one that hits.
Yeah. In LA, we're so non-committal, so it's a great way to be able to experience a lot of things without being, committed to different memberships or classes. You can find something that works for you on your time.
Yeah. It's always doable. And I find a lot of times when people first start with me, they've got excuses, the reasons why. Because they maybe were in the corporate world, in the corporate world like you were, and they're just so busy they can't even think about exercise because they're so exhausted. But there's a way to work it in. Just like brushing your teeth 2 times, 3 times a day, you can fit, even if it's 15 minutes a day.
Right.
Even if it's chair exercises or, calf lifts at the stove or whatever.
Right.
Get your blood pumping, get moving. It's all doable.
I told people somebody busier than you already finished running today.
Yeah. Good one. I'm stealing from you. And on that note, so we're there. So a couple things. First, how can people get a hold of you that are listening and can't see all the ways on the screen? And then I'm going to have you leave us with words of wisdom or, final thoughts for my audience.
Wonderful. Thank you. So my website is merakifitnessbyanna.com, and my email is Anna, ANNA, at merakifitnessbyanna.com. And my cell is 310-625-5490. And I just learned of a very wonderful woman who, she was about 95. She recently passed last week. Wonderful woman who inspired me. And one thing that she used to say all the time was, I aspire to inspire until I expire.
Oh, wow. Good one.
Yeah.
That's new on this show. Nobody said that.
Rest in peace.
All those spires are very meaningful. Yeah. And yes, I hope she is resting in peace, and I'm sure she just sent you that message. I want to thank you for your time. I know, again, it's a busy, you're so busy.
Resolution time.
I can't imagine how you had time to go to a gala last night. But I am so glad you're here today, and I'm so glad that you shared with us.
My pleasure.
I love your enthusiasm.
Thank you so much for having me.
I knew there was a reason why I found you on LinkedIn,
I know.
and boom, you hit it right up.
We're like BFFs now.
Yeah, right. We're talking, girl.
We are.
So thank you so much. And I want to thank you, my audience, for joining us today. I really hope that this gave you some pointers and some ideas and some ways that you can go out and move and get some exercise, start a healthy you, and keep having those conversations that connect to a healthier you. Bye, and we're going to see you next month. Bye, everybody. See you on the 10th of March.